So in this video, I'm gonna be showing you guys kind of how to implement OSPF, how to set it up, and kind of why you would use it and whatnot. Um, this is kind of a really straightforward setup. Obviously, this routing protocol in particular, you would use it in a much bigger and larger network. Um, Obviously, I just have a computer router and that's really it. No switches, no other devices really or anything like that. Um, so we can see here, I have my PC here configured, um, and I have all the basic configurations done on the routers and the PCs. So the only thing I really want to show now is how to actually implement OSPF and the commands behind it. But yeah, there are a lot of different routing protocols like BGP, or EIGRP, um, OSPF, RIP. Um, Obviously, each has their own kind of reasons to why you'd use them, but OSPF it requires compared to EIGRP at least, for larger networks. Um, it's not Cisco proprietary. Along with a few other things, but I'll just go into router 1 here and just show you. So now we have router 1 here. So we're just going to enable and do show IP interface brief. So we have the IP addresses here and we have all the basic configuration done. So next we'll do the actual OSPF setup. So the command to do this, we want to be in configuration terminal first, is router OSPF 1, and the 1 essentially is a process ID. It's just used to identify the local IP process. You don't need them to match to establish an adjacency or anything like that, or a link. But next you want to use the network command, and the network command essentially is used to identify which interface on the router that's being configured will be included in the process, and as well as what area. So here we're going to put the IP address and the wildcard mask, and we're kind of going to specify like a range. And then as for the area, we're not doing multi-area OSPF right now, so that's not a problem. We don't need to worry about it. It can all be the same area, which is 0. But you might have like different areas at times. So the important network here that we want to advertise is the 2.1 and the 2.2 subnets, or IP addresses, sorry. So we've done that, and then next we'll go to router 2. So here we have router 2 again, enable configuration terminal, and we're just gonna go ahead here and paste these in. So now after waiting a bit, we should see the states kind of change, the OSPF states. So by that I mean OSPF has a few different states, so we can see here it went from loading to full. There are about I think 5 other states, like down, two-way, X start, but there's a few of them, and here we just got a glimpse of 2. So we can see that the OSPF here is set up. So now we're going to go into PC0. So the plan here is we're going to send a ping from the 192.168.0.1 all the way to the 192.168.1.1. So those are two different subnets. So without OSPF, it shouldn't work. So now we'll try ping, and I'll show you that it works with the OSPF, and then I'll show you without OSPF. So now we'll see here, we're going to ping 192.168.1.1, and let me try that again. Okay, so we can see here we're getting a response. So it's going through. So now Now I'm kind of gonna try to break that link, so I'm just gonna do no router OSPF1, just get rid of it. So now we can see we transition from the full state to the down state. So now if we go back and try to ping from PC0, the ping should not work. So obviously now we get a destination host unreachable. So now I'm gonna go back and reconfigure here. So router OSPF1 network 192.168.0.0. Just specify the wildcard mask and do the same for the other subnets. So now it should work after we put 2.0 subnet. So usually you just have to put the IP addresses that you're trying to like advertise, I guess you could say. But in this scenario, it wouldn't hurt to put the other ones. But I guess in another scenario, it could get confused with other processes and whatnot. So that's fine. So now we can see it's working. And another useful command is if we go back to here, if we just do a show IP OSPF brief, or sorry, show IP OSPF neighbor, it can show us who we're kind of communicating with, who our neighbors are, and we can see the state. So here we can see obviously with the 2.2 interface, which is on router 2, we are neighbors, and you can change the priority values and whatnot. Obviously here I'm just trying to show the basics kind of OSPF. But yeah, overall, that's pretty much it. Obviously there's a lot of other commands you can do with this. Obviously I just wanted to see the neighbors because that's a bit easier to see, but here you can get a lot more information, which I'm not going to go into right now, but I just want to show kind of a simple demonstration of setting up OSPF. It is pretty straightforward, and it's really similar, at least for me, to set up compared to other protocols like EIGRP and whatnot. So yeah, that's it for this video.